Hello students, this is your computer sir, Santosh sir, and today we will study the subject computer. To study the computer, we have to start with the history of computers. In previous year, we have learned many things about computer, but today we will start with the history of computers, how computer origin. Computers are very useful machines and help us to do different things. They are used in homes, schools, office, hospital, banks, and many other places. In fact, computers have become a part of a daily life of most of us. Computer could not always do the things they to do. The first computer were large, expensive machines. They were used for doing long mathematical calculation. They were used by scientists and engineers, large business and military and government organization also. Over the year, computer become easier to use. Let us learn about how computer developed into the compact machine that we use every day. Early computing device. To compute means to calculate something. Some of the earliest computing devices were based on moving parts and could do simple calculation using addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Previously, the size of a computer was too big. It take a whole room to shift, but nowadays the home computer as well as the laptop take less space. Now, abacus. The abacus is one of the earliest known calculating tool. It was made around 4500 years ago. In those days, people worked with number when they bought and sold things such as cattle, grains and so on. The abacus helped them perform basic arithmetic operations. The most common kind of abacus has a frame, usually made of wood, with wires stretching across the frame. Each wire has 10 beads on it and represents a place value. The lowest wire shows ones, that is units. The one above it tens and one above it hundreds and so on. We can slide the beads on the wires to do sums. Here the picture is given of a abacus. Napier bones. Napier bones says this device was made by John Napier in the early 1600s. It lets us find the product and quotient of large number easily. In order to use Napier bones, a person needs to know only how to add and subtract. The device has a large board with the number 1 to 9 arranged vertically on the left bones or rods, such as the ones shown in the picture are placed on the board to do different calculation. Here it's given a picture of a set of Napier bones. Hello students, today we will again continue with the history of computer. Pascaline and step reckoner. The Pascaline and the step reckoner were mechanical devices that were used for arithmetic operations. Both these devices used gears. The Pascaline was made by Blaise Pascal around 1642. Gottfried Wilhelm von Leibniz completed the step reckoner around 1694. Difference engine and analytical engine. In the 19th century, Charles Babbage of England designed these two computing machines, but he could not complete them. After him, scientists completed this machine and found that they could do complicated calculations accurately. The analytical engine was far more efficient than the difference engine. It was a mechanical device that could be programmed like a computer. This is why Charles Babbage is considered the father of the computer. Now come to modern computers. All the devices that we learned about in the previous section were mechanical devices and that did not run on electricity. The first true computer was an electrical device. Computers can be divided into 5 generations. The earliest computer belonged to the first generation. The term computer was first used for the people who did calculations. First generation computer. It starts from 1940. This type of computer used electrical device called vacuum tubes. The working part of these devices are sealed in a glass tube. Vacuum tubes are large devices. This is why the computer using them were large. Vacuum tubes need a large amount of electricity to work. They heat up a lot, so the computers using them had a cooled properly. One for the first computer of this generation was ENIAC. Punched cards were used for input, output and storage. A punched card is a piece of stiff card in which holes are punched at specific point to represent data. First generation computer would read programs and data from these cards. They would also output data on these cards. Some computers also use printers for output. This computer could only do one task at a time. They had a program precisely for each task. The programs would be on a stack of punched cards. Punched card, a card that helps the computer, the first electric computer, to work on. Vacuum tube helps to generate electricity. Second generation computer. It starts from 1950. In this computer, vacuum tubes were replaced by transistors. Transistors are smaller device than vacuum tubes and use less electricity. So second generation computer were smaller than the computer from the first generation. Although we still quite large, but did not need as much electricity and heated up less. Second generation computers still used punched card and printers. There were no monitors. Second generation computers were called stored program computers. They could store program in their memory, so unlike first generation, they did not have to program every time a program had to be run. As compared to first generation computer, second generation computer take less space to install, but the punch card and the printer were the same. Although vacuum tube is replaced with the transistors, which helps to do the electricity work easily and generate it properly. Hello students, this is your computer sir, and continuing with the last topic, history of computer, today we will move to third generation computer. In previous class we have learned about generation 1 and generation 2. Now come to third generation when it started in 1960. In this generation, integrated circuits ICs or chips were used. In ICs, circuits consist of extremely small transistors are made directly on small bits, that is chips, of a special material. The CPU was made of many ICs. Using ICs reduced the spaces need for the computer circuit, which made the computers much smaller. Computers also become more efficient than before. When you come to third generation, it replaced with the vacuum tubes. First generation vacuum tubes, second generation transistors, and come to third generation, it replaced the circuits. The circuits very small in size and easily to be used. The keyboard was introduced for input and monitors began to be used as output. Operating system similar to the one we use today were introduced. This helped the computers complete tasks faster, which save a lot of time. With the introduction of the keyboard and monitor, computer began to look similar to the machines we use today. Smaller in size, less use of electricity, less heated up. Now come to fourth generation computer. Fourth generation computer from 1970s began from 1970s. In fourth generation computer, the CPU was placed on a single small chip integrated circuit called a microprocessor, a more smaller chip as compared to circuit. This greatly reduced the size of the computer and also made it much faster and more efficient. Today a microprocessor can have millions of transistors. Yeah, microprocessor picture is given. The computers were more powerful and could be connected to each other to form networks. This paved the way of the creation of the internet. The computer began to use operating system that had icons and menus like in Windows. The mouse was also introduced as an input device. This is when computers began to be used by common people in homes, shops, schools, and so on. So when the fourth generation computer came in the market, then it is very easy for common people to buy it in an affordable price and keep in home, because in fourth generation the computer size become very less. Hello students, in previous class we have learned about fourth generation computer, that is a part of history of computer, which is our first chapter. Now today we will move to fifth generation computer being developed. These are the computers, they are currently being developed. Scientists are working to create computers with artificial intelligence, AI. Computers with artificial intelligence will be able to make decisions like human. Voice recognition technology and self-driving cars are being developed as a part of this technology. AI is also being used to develop helpful devices like that one that use a smartphone to tell people who cannot see what is in front of them. Here is some timeline of some important events after 1940 in the history of computing. Before going to that, I am going to explain once again what is the fifth generation. In fifth generation computer, artificial intelligence, AI, a system is being developed and in process also developing with sensors like we can take an example of robots. 90% like human being they work. So what is this AI? AI helps the system to work automatically according to the data already inbuilt in their system. Google Now and Siri are two intelligence personal assistants. These are software that can understand voice instruction and follow them. So in 1946, ENIAC displayed in public. 1953, transistor. 1960, ICs, integrated circuits. 1971, microprocessor. Again the same process is going on for year to year. 1983, 81, this all 85, this all shows the actual development of the technology. And now when we come to today's generation, today's scenario, we got iPad, we got Apple introduced many new features that can make a user to use the system very easily. Some of the new words and terms are here: circuits, gears, generation, artificial intelligence. Circuits, a circuit has electrical device like we got in switches, bulbs. Gears, moving to wheels. Generation, a stage in the development of a product like a machine. Artificial intelligence, the ability of computer to make decisions like humans. So students, here we completed our lesson 1 with the fifth generation of computer. Our lesson 1 is history of computer. So next class, that is the last class of our this month, April 30. On that day, I am going to give you some assignments for your summer vacation, and also I will recall once again the whole first chapter. So don't miss that, and buy your 200 pages notebook where you can write the assignments, whatever assignments I can give. I will try to give as much as easy assignment for you, and in next video I will also tell what is the assignment and what is the thing or the object. If I will decide, then I will tell you to make it.